Okay, so what we're working on right here, welcome back to the channel, guys and girls, stackers, and all the beautiful people of YouTube. We were going to the scrapyard, so I'm kind of sorting through some stuff I picked up at the auction the other day. Also a bunch of other metal that I have to get to. What we're going to do here is, all that's going to be scrap except for that. I haven't been to the flea market in forever. It literally rains every single flea market time, every single flea market day. So I just have so much stuff, and I was unloading my whole, I probably had 8 or 10 boxes I picked up at the auction, and I don't even have space for that. So I'm going to scrap this bike. It's kind of unfortunate because it works fine. The brake line's a little messed up, so it needs a little bit of work there, but I just don't have the space for this anymore. You know, it's just staying in my yard. They cost $100 brand new from Walmart. And I would donate it, but the thing is, you know, they're going to scrap it. And the reason why they're going to scrap it is because it needs brakes. It needs a new, whatever you want to do here with the brake line, whether you pull this thing inward or whatever, but they're going to scrap it. I've been to the thrift store so many times. They don't even sell bikes, and if they do, they're only, you know, 15, 20 bucks, and they're in good shape. Last time I was there, they had a whole bin outside, a whole dumpster of just scrap metal. So I'm not donating any more metal to the thrift store because, you know, I'm going to waste my time, my hours, you know, I'm going to spend my gas money and bring this stuff to them while I'm already picking it up myself and storing it, and they're going to make the money. So why don't I make the money? We're going to get out to the scrapyard, got a bunch of things. These were really nice. I threw them on Craigslist and Facebook for 30 bucks. No one bid on them, so I'm going to scrap them. They are very nice, though. I do like them. They're kind of uncomfortable, but they're in good shape. Got a little bit of a tear there, some marking, but yep, scrap, scrap, scrap. Okay, so thinking this is probably cast. I don't know what really cast really is. Got a file. So there's like a silver coating on the inside. I guess it's just cast. I don't know. So that goes in the cast pile. Got a bunch of little pieces of parts here, which is kind of weird. It's falling apart on me. So I guess I'm going to just scrap this. That's iron. I got this whole box here, just assortment of stuff. Bits and pieces, not really hardware, but just pieces. And a lot of it is tin. It's kind of unfortunate, but oh jeez. At least it's getting recycled. Yeah, kind of garbage. At least all the stuff's getting recycled. I got a whole mess already. I got so much stuff in here. So much stuff. I don't think I'm going to take brass today. I'm going to take this iron thing. This stuff. Gotta get rid of it. So that's brass. Goes my brass pile. Got a little bit of insulated copper. So the rest of this looks like it's iron. That's all iron, so I just gotta dump that out. That gets recycled is light iron. Some people say you can probably recycle this as cast iron. I don't really separate cast iron from light iron. It's not worth my time. It's not worth. Just not worth my time. So by separating light iron from cast iron, you get another 50 cents for every 100 pounds of cast iron as you do light iron. Light iron is pretty much stuff like this. So this is light iron down here, but it has other stuff on it. My general rule of thumb is about 70% of the weight is iron, or 70% of the weight is metal. It just goes as light iron. If it's less than 70%, it's kind of hit or miss. Something like this would go as iron. But if 5% of the weight is, you know, iron, so let's say something like this. I wouldn't throw this in the light iron pile. I would just throw this out. I'm not going to throw this out, but this iron ridge on the top really isn't much iron considered the whole thing. So this is something I wouldn't throw for the light iron. This would just be garbage, essentially. So kind of just making a pile of stuff that I have to go through when I have time. These little trays are kind of cool. I guess you use them for different things of hardware. As you can see, a bunch of hardware in there. So what I usually do is I put that in a box and run a magnet over it, and then you get all the copper screws and brass screws out. Like so, these might not even be brass. They look brass. Oh, they might all be brass. So they're all brass, and that goes in solid yellow brass. That's good. Trying to see if there's anything. No, it doesn't look like it. So that goes in the brass pile. You know, my OCD kind of kicks in. Nope. So that's all brass. And then I'm now well, now I missed the tray. I don't know. There's the top. So now I'm keeping all these trays for the flea market. I think somebody might want them. They're kind of neat. They're vintage looking. They're the old Kodak trays. So I got to go through them, make sure there's no like that. If they're all brass, I mean, if this whole thing was brass, there's probably $7-8 in brass in there. I will be taking brass today, and I think I will be taking this die cast. But these are pretty neat. If you guys are new to scrapping, these are also brass. These chargers, but on the ridge, there's actually a piece of iron. So you have to peel back the end to get that rim out, to get clean yellow brass price. They're kind of cool, but they kind of have that colonial look to them. Very popular in 1976, and they're just not in demand. That's the same thing with the big ones as well. There's big chargers as well. I always thought they were cool, but you know, apparently they aren't. Some are probably worth some money, the bigger ones. There's like a certain style or an animal or something like that. There's probably something out there that's worth money, but for the most part, those really aren't. Gonna probably keep these if they're not brass. These are lamp parts for the lamp. Maybe somebody at the flea market might want that for crafting. If not, I'll just scrap them. But things I'm unsure about, I definitely try to keep. Alright, so I managed to fit one. I got all the other stuff out, but I couldn't fit the other one. Do have a little bit of space in here, so I'm going to try to throw one of those buckets or bins right there, and maybe I can fit one right here, but these chairs take up a lot of space. Very awkward shaped. I know I have a lot of dead space down there, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So I think this is irony aluminum. It's broken right over there, and that's why I'm scrapping it. I was going to take it to the flea market, ask $25-30, but if it being broken that bad, might as well scrap it. So we'll see what we get with that. And that's going to kind of wrap it up in terms of packing. Alright, let's go to the scrapyard. Headed on to the scrapyard, almost there. It's garbage day in this town, but they have that automated garbage now, which is no good for picking. No good for picking. Alright. The old scrapyard. She's a beaut. She is a beaut. And we're here. So we got some stainless, we got some cast, and we got that aluminum thing and some brass. See how well this works. Alright, so now we're going to big scale. The old big scale. They also got all these new machinery, new signs around here, which is very, very cool. What are we weighing in at? 5,600. 5,620. Alright, that's what we weigh at. And then we go over there and we drop off all the metal. We come back on a scale, and the difference is what we dropped off in. So, looks like we've got a really clean area today. Alright, there you go, there's the pile. Okay, so we have our total here. It's $46.10. I'll break it down for everyone who might be interested. That one ladder is irony aluminum, which is what I thought it would be. It's 21 pounds, currently at 10 cents a pound, so that was $2.10. We have a yellow brass, that was the one bucket. Currently $1.75. I had 12 pounds of that, so that was 21 bucks. It's always good to separate that. Die cast, I finally made up one bucket of die cast because I was kind of sick of just like constantly bringing yellow brass over there and be like 5 or 6 pieces in my bucket that was die cast. And it was kind of embarrassing because I just had no idea what it was in terms of difference. But die cast is kind of looks like brass. It's I don't even know how to say it. It doesn't really look like metal, but if you file it down, it is like a silver color. It kind of looks like I don't even know how to explain it, but that's what die cast is. It's kind of like fake metal, if that kind of makes sense. Doesn't really make sense, I know. Stainless steel, I had 3 buckets, 3 little pans or something, 4 pounds of that. Currently a quarter a pound, so that was a buck. So that was $26.10. And then light iron, I had 680 pounds, currently at $6 for every 100, so that's 40 bucks. You add it together, it's like $26.90. $26, no, $66.90. Yeah. So yeah, that was that full adventure. I would say if you guys are interested in scrapping and you guys are looking for a job, if you enjoy like kind of separating things, if you're a handy person, I would say check out your local scrapyard. You might be able to get a job over there. It's kind of fun if you're someone who likes to, you know, putz around and separate things and take apart things, because I know over there I think they get paid an hourly wage, and then one guy who does work over there, he gets paid an hourly wage, and then once he fills up a whole trailer of it, he gets paid like a third of whatever the difference is in terms of what he did. So he does make a nice payout, and that kind of like goes to, you know, if you have something that's like irony copper, he takes off all the iron and then puts all the copper into a bucket. And if he has, you know, stainless steel and has some sort of fitting on it, he takes off the fitting and he just has stainless steel. So I know if someone else was throwing a bunch of copper when I was there, when I was leaving, they were throwing like copper radiator to the ends, the noodles with the little plate on them. I don't know why he wouldn't have just taken those over to the non-ferrous building and get dirty copper for that. I think it's probably like 35 or 40 cents a pound. Instead, he got 6 cents a pound. But they'll go over there and they'll pick that stuff out, and then they'll take off all the copper. So very, very cool, the whole background, and very, very cool, like the whole background and what happens behind the scenes at the scrapyard. They definitely try to separate things the best way that they can so they can make the most amount of money as well, because what they do is they sell it to the refineries, and then the refineries pay them a certain cut for whatever they bring in. So that's kind of that. If you guys are interested in scrapping and want to see more, or you guys want to see where all this metal came from, definitely subscribe for more videos. I find them at auctions, garbage picking, and all that kind of stuff, and I definitely video all my endeavors in that regard. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, have a great day, keep living the dream. Peace!